So the New York Yankees have won 3 games in a row, and they cut DJ LeMahieu.
Oh.
We'll be right here to talk on it on Yankees Morning Brew.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.
Good morning, Yankees universe, and welcome back to another episode of the Yankees Morning Brew on this Thursday, July 10th. Like always, I'm your guy Hector, joined by the compañera this morning. We got the lovely Grace Monroe, and all you Yankee fans, wake up and get your coffee. Miss Monroe, how are you feeling?
You know, we're gonna go into that. I heard my musical cue. We're gonna get into it, Hector. I'm glad to be here with you this morning.
Yes.
Let's start out right there. And I'm so
Always.
proud of you and all the work you've been doing at the stadium. And I am happy that the Yankees are on a win streak now, baby. And they won the series with the Mariners. We have some really exciting things to look forward to. We're going to get into the headline of today's show, which is Future Unlocked. So we're going to have a good conversation today. It's my dog's 7th birthday today. So
Hey, happy birthday. W's in the chat.
shout out to my baby, my biological son, who is, I guess, 49 in dog years. So just, right in the prime of his life. So anyway, other than that, I'm good. How are you, Hector?
I'm doing good. Shout out to Pretty Lou in the chat. The Yankees are on a 3-game win streak, like I said. I was at the stadium yesterday. It was fantastic. We'll get into the game. Latino Sports, we had an event as well. Shout out to everybody who showed up. Steven from Mama D's Empanada. My brother Keith McPherson made an appearance. Ray Negron was there. We were honoring the great Ray Negron, the first Bat Boy, one of the first original Bat Boys with George Steinbrenner, Puerto Rican fellow from the South Bronx. Love that man to death. But let's do a shout out real quick. I want to shout out everybody who's watching us on Instagram, the Playoff Put Podcast, Susie, P, the Maddie's in the building, Jasmine in the building. Jasmine, how you doing? Thank you for the follow, Jasmine, over on Instagram. On YouTube, we got my guy Jacob Petruzzi in the building. Jacob, how you doing? My friend Tina, the #1 moderator on Discord is my friend Tina. Shout out to Tina. Make sure you guys join the Discord. The link is in the chat right there. Tina, always on top of her job doing it. My man Jonathan, Mr. Do Your Job. Jonathan is in the building. Good morning. My guy Future's in the building. Future, how you doing? Of course, the Ace Avenue. Theo Nosebleed section is here. How we doing? New York Yankee Girl 33 is in the building. C Money, Chris Califf, me and Mano de la Isla, my man Ghost. From Chris. My guy Caleb in the chat. How you guys doing? JT, dímelo, mi gente, estamos aquí. Theo Nosebleed section. We don't skip the nosebleed. Are you killing me? How you doing, Theo Nosebleed section? I hope all is well. Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. But Grace, we have to start with the news that shocked the Yankees universe that came out yesterday. And it's not a surprise. Everybody know it. But if you didn't know it, if you was living under the rock, DJ LeMahieu was designated for assignment by the New York Yankees. DJ, thank you so much for your time here in the Bronx. You won a batting title with the Yankees, a Gold Glove as well. One of the top hitters in Major League Baseball from 2019 to 2022. You had a slash line of 296, a 367 on base percentage, and a 440 slugging. DJ, one of the guys in the lineup that you could rely on to come through in a big time situation. So DJ, I appreciate you. Father Time has caught up with you. The injuries, they caught up with you. I'm sure he'll be signed by some team over the next few weeks. I just want to take a few seconds just to thank DJ LeMahieu for everything he meant to the New York Yankees and their fan base.
I told Hector backstage, and I'll tell y'all too, I shed a tear. I'm not going to lie. I shed a tear yesterday for DJ. I'm going to try to get through talking about him without getting choked up. Y'all, this is how much I love my team and my Yankees. I come on this show and I rib them and I criticize them, but at the end of the day, these guys are my boys, and I want them to do great. I want to win. But I'm attached to these players. And when you have a player that's with the franchise for so long, like DJ, who contributed in such a major way for so long, when it reaches the end, it's hard. It's bittersweet, you know. I know the injuries and I know his limitations on the field ultimately were something that the Yankees just decided it was time to move on from. But it's still hard, you know. It's just a little bit hard. I think the move, which heck I want to get into with you, was so anyway, before we go on to the moves and everything, let me just say thank you, DJ, so much. You will always be loved. This was a tough decision, I know, for everyone that loves you so much in the locker room, and the fans love you too. And it's hard at the end, but thank you for everything. Now,
no, 100%, Grace. 100%. Go ahead.
I didn't cry.
No, but what I say, this season, 266 batting average, 2 home runs, 12 RBIs. We went over it in the last show. Over the past couple of weeks, the man has been hitting over 350. The man has been killing it for the New York Yankees. Granted, they've been singles, but he's been doing his best version of like copying Luis Ariz for the New York Yankees. Bad defensively, but can hit some singles. Listen, DJ LeMahieu, the fit, it didn't work, right? It's like the little kids that they got a star and they're trying to put it in a circle hole. Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't fit with DJ LeMahieu. The defense looks way more crispier when you have Jazz Chisholm, who's more comfortable playing second base at his natural position. When you have Oswald Peraza, who hasn't given you much offensively. He showed you some stuff over the past couple of games, but defensively, he can pick it with the best of them at the major league level. And the defense, the Yankees are on a 3-game winning streak. The starting pitching has looked phenomenal in each of those 3 games. You know why, Grace? Because their defense was solid behind them. There was no throwing errors that was going on from third base. Jazz Chisholm was dealing with a shoulder issue, and he gave it his all trying to play third base. But when DJ LeMahieu, a veteran, is refusing to move from second to third base, you have to do what's best for the team. And I know it may have been a crushing blow to DJ LeMahieu. There was reports that he was crying, tearing, that he wanted to stay with the Yankees. But what's best for the team is if you would have been able to play third base. You didn't feel comfortable playing third base. The Yankees had to make this move. We have to have Jazz Chisholm at second base. And since Jazz Chisholm returned from the IL, Jazz Chisholm has been one of our hottest hitters, hitting .315 with multi-home runs.
I think that a couple things I want to say about this. DJ, I heard, was willing to play on the bench. There's a rumor going out there that he didn't want to be on the bench. That's not true. According to Brian Hoke and other beat reporters that I trust, they said that DJ was willing to be a bat off the bench. He wanted to stay on the team at any cost, and they just flat out said, you're released. And he did not want that. He said he wasn't comfortable playing third base at the end of last season, not this week. So I don't know if DJ was willing to try to play third base, or if the Yankees were like, no, you said you weren't good and we haven't worked you out there and we haven't seen you play there at all this year, so we're not even going to go there because we have Peraza. But the other point I want to make, and I did tweet out something about this yesterday, which was, you cannot tell me that Hal and Brian and the Yankees do not want to win or prioritize winning over money when they make a move like this that costs them $25 million to say, you're not helping us win on defense. We're going to shore up the defense. We're going to go that way. When DJ had a semi-productive bat and we need a right-hand bat on the bench, and they still said, no, go away. We're going to pay you anyway to go away. That is directly in contradiction to people saying the Yankees only care about money and they don't care about winning. Not according to DFAing DJ LeMahieu, who's a valuable right-hand bat on the bench. It cost them $25 million.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not talking about his defense. I'm not talking about his range. I'm talking about his bat. And it cost them $0.00 to have him sit on the bench and come off and just bat. He was batting over 300 in the last 10 games. So it cost them $0 to do that. Instead, they paid $25 million and in evidence showed the fan base and the team and everybody else that they're not messing around and they want to win. And then ever since they made that move, what have we seen? Energy on defense, energy at the plate. The team is centralized in their goal, which is to win. They know that the front office is behind them, that they believe that they can win, and that they're pushing for it. And the team is like, copy, we're on the same page now. That's what I saw. I also saw Aaron Boone tearing up during God Bless America. It was a hard day for those guys. They're a family. It was a hard day, but it's part of baseball. It's part of professional sports. And ultimately, it's going to bond the team even more together going down the stretch and into the postseason. I'm telling
you this right now, guys. For those of you guys that like to boo-hoo the Yankees for not winning and just caring about money, like Grace said, my man Keith McPherson said it last night. When you're worth over $8 billion, what's $25 million? When you're worth over $8 billion, what's $25 million to your pockets? Nothing. And that's what the New York Yankees did yesterday. They decided that DJ LeMahieu is not helping this team. DJ LeMahieu is hurting this team because he's not flexible when it comes to the positions that he could play. Our best lineup is when Jazz Chisholm is playing second base and defensively Peraza is your third baseman. Now, if you want to nitpick Peraza not hitting and Anthony Volpe not hitting, copy. We can have that conversation. By the way, Austin Wells has turned it around. He has a .333 batting average in the month of July. I know it's just a few. We're just on July 10th, but still good signs to start the month. Yesterday, what happened, Grace?
I was just going to say real quick about Wells. They were saying that he's got a little bit more of an open batting stance, and that's a new thing. So maybe this is production we've seen since he's made that adjustment. Now, keep cooking.
No, that's and there's a video that Ryan from Fireside Yankees put up. If you guys want to see it, watch that video. It's a great breakdown on his batting stance over the past few weeks and how he switched it up. But when it comes back to Brian Cashman, the Yankees are going to be making moves. The writing is on the wall. The bat signal has been shined in the light. The Yankees are going to be making moves. Yesterday was the event for Latino sports. Brian Cashman was supposed to be there, right? If you listen to Keith McPherson, he talked about this. Brian Cashman sent the message because he wasn't able to be in attendance, and he said, I can't be there because they have 3 meetings today. 3 meetings today ahead of the trade deadline. Immediately, me, Keith, my friend, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? The event was over at 3:30. Few minutes later, the news was announced about DJ LeMahieu being DFA'd. Brian Cashman, he listens to the fan base. They are monitoring what you're saying on Twitter. They're monitoring what the people on the podcast and the guys at WFAN, because you cannot tell me in a city like New York City, when you're driving everywhere you go, because Brian Cashman's not taking public transportation. He's not underneath the ground. He has service. You can't tell me that Brian Cashman and Howard Steinbrenner, they don't just turn on WFAN, even if it's for like 30 seconds. Because I'll tell you this right now, Grace, admittedly, I'm going to be guilty of saying this. There's some people that I don't like out there in the world, but I'm like, you know what? Let me just tune in for 15, 20 seconds so I could remind myself how stupid they are. And that's what I do. And I'm not sure if that's what Brian Cashman and Howard Steinbrenner does, but you can't tell me that they don't just tune into WFAN, even if it's like a 5, 10, 15-second guilty pleasure viewing.
Absolutely. They definitely have a pulse on the fan base. I mean, it's how they make their money at the end of the day. Keeping the Yankees relevant, keeping the growth rate of Yankees fans year over year, being the most popular team, that is important, obviously. So yeah, they have a pulse. Anyway, with that being said, heck, before we get into last night and Cam and Jason and all this, go ahead and send me to the hot corner. Why don't you? I'm going to address the headline.
We sending Grace to the hot corner.
Thank you so much, much, Hector Beauchamp with Yankees Morning Brew and Latino Sports. This is Grace Monroe reporting live from the Bronx, where hope was renewed last night in the form of a vision of the future for the New York Yankees franchise. Y'all, the future is here. The future is now. Last night, I had a vision, okay? I had a vision. And that vision was Jason Dominguez, okay? Batting leadoff, Jason Dominguez, who had three hits last night. Jason Dominguez, who is batting .321 in the month of July. Jason Dominguez, who is edging up to a 1.0 OPS in the month of July in his rookie year. Jason Dominguez, who went first to home on a liner in 10 seconds flat. And yes, I did the math on that. That's 17.7 miles per hour or 26 feet per second, if you just want to know. And I saw a vision of the future of the New York Yankees with Cam Schlittler on the mound, throwing 100-mile-an-hour gas, dotting it, locating it, and working through his first MLB start like a veteran. I saw the future when I saw Jazz Chisholm Jr. up the middle of the infield, hitting 2 home runs, and with speed on the base paths and going yard, okay, behind our top of the order. I saw the future when I saw Austin Wells and his new open stance, having some success behind there. And I saw the future last night in the Bronx when they released DJ LeMahieu. Now, y'all know how I feel about DJ, but with the closing of a door is the opening of a new door. And that's what we saw last night. With the end of one chapter is the beginning of the next chapter. The team played with energy. The team had vibes. We had a 22-year-old leadoff batter. Okay? This is the next chapter for the New York Yankees. Aaron Judge will be treated as the veteran he is going forward. And the young guys will carry and push us to 28.
I just want to say something real quick. When you look at Jason Dominguez, and this is something that I brought up to Aaron Boone last night. I'll play you my question to Aaron Boone in the post-game conference, but I want this to sink in when it comes to Jason Dominguez. Jason Dominguez has 17 plate appearances as the leadoff hitter. Do you know what his stats are, Grace?
Tell me.
Jason Dominguez, in those 17 plate appearances, he has a 188 WRC plus. He has a 439 WOBA, weighted on base average. It's a combination of your on base and your batting average put into play, and that's at 439.
Is that good?
Jason Dominguez in his last 25 games is hitting over 330 in his last 25 games. In his last 11 games, he has 6 multi-hit games, 2 of them being 2 3-hit games, and 1 of them being a 4-hit game. When it comes to Jason Dominguez, like I said, I have the video right here. I'm going to play it, my post-game question to Aaron Boone. Let me shout out the chat real quick. My man Lorenzo Cardona is in the building. Enzo, how you doing? Salute, salute, salute. My guy Nathaniel Crenshaw is here. The only troll that I acknowledge in the Yankee universe is my guy L.I. Yankee King. My guy L.I. Yankee King was told that the Yankees cannot develop talent. Shout out my guy L.I. Yankee King. And I think Sean Browning brought it up. Shout out to Sean Browning in the chat who says Grisham in street clothing. Grisham wasn't in street clothing when I was there. If anything, he wasn't in full uniform. He had the warm-up thing, but if anybody has any videos or photos, when I was at the game, I didn't see Trent Grisham in any street clothing, and then I was in the press box watching the game. So if anybody has any links, send it to me on Twitter, send it to me on Instagram, on TikTok, and I'll bring it up. But if you guys can, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are sitting at 5,442 subscribers. Folks, next week, I leave tomorrow morning. I will be in Atlanta for the MLB All-Star Game. I will be going live from the field every day that I'm out there. I will be going live with Grace on Tuesday for the Yankees Morning Brew. So make sure you guys tune in and follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, follow us on the TikTok, because that's where I go live from the field. So I got the question right here. I want to load it up. Bingo. Mark Teamaker. Woba. Let's just watch him play. He's going to be the real deal. Absolutely. Shout out to my man, Mr. Mark Teamaker. Mark Gates is in the building. Mark Gates, hi.
Yes. The straw that
What a great
stirs the
first
drink.
step.
That's a great.
Across the aisle.
Aaron, Hector Bochep, Latino Sports. Over the last 11 games, Jason Dominguez have had 6 multi-hit games, a few of them being 1 4-hit game. Can you speak on the confidence it is for a young player leading into the All-Star break the way that he has been hitting?
Yeah. JD always has confidence. Like, you know, he's got an amazing skill set and super talented. So, but I would say, and I've said this a lot, you know, the first few months of the year here, you know, maybe it hasn't been spectacular, but it's been real steady. And I feel like he gives you a very mature at bat. I feel like he's continued to improve in the outfield. You're really seeing his base running, even though he got thrown out tonight, you're seeing his base running be a real factor. You see his speed on the bases, scoring first to home on the ball down the line. But I think in the last week, he's kind of caught fire and got hot. And it's pretty much every at bat has been really, really dialed in. You know, going back to Toronto in that series, you know, drilling balls the other way routinely. The 2-homer ball game going the other way over against the Mets. You know, had I think that last game with the Mets, you know, where didn't get any results or whatever, but it's like right back in. And it's just more good at bats today. I mean, at the top, he was excellent, and I feel like he's gotten hot this past week.
Yeah, and it may get a little over.
Do you know how I know Jason Dominguez will now be an everyday player? I want to get your take, because I heard something while Boone was talking that leads me to believe that he's no more platoon. He's an everyday player.
Really?
Do you know what that was? I want to see if you
What
heard
was
it.
it? I don't know.
He gave Jason Dominguez a nickname, JD.
Oh.
When his guys
You
have
think
when he gives his guys nicknames, that mean that they in. They Jason Dominguez is not the Martian anymore. He's JD.
JD.
He's JD. That's his man, JD. So Jason Dominguez should be an everyday player going forward. And the games that he has been the leadoff hitter, the Yankees only lost 2 of those games. They've won every other game.
Exactly. I'm vindicated. I am like, I swear to God, I am just eating up everyone loving the Martian, sitting here like, yeah, y'all, welcome to the party. Some of us have been here the whole. When Jason does anything great lately, I just yell at my TV. Some of us have been here the whole time. Like I mean, I love him. Yeah, you're preaching to the choir. You know what I'm saying? That's what we say in the South. You're preaching to the choir because you know how I feel about Jason Dominguez. He's amazing. And Jazz has been incredible. And we love Jazz from jump. I mean, it's just both of those players are special players. Both of those players, not to say anything bad about the rest of the team, they bring extra je ne sais quoi to the locker room. Jason Dominguez is a silly, kind soul. Jazz Chisholm Jr. is fun and peppy and hilarious, and both of those guys bring intangibles to the field and to the locker room that are so important.
Hey Grace, I got another stat that I think you'll love.
Tell me.
And this is from this morning. Shout out to my man J Dom on Twitter. Since May 1st, Jason Dominguez has a 114 WRC plus versus left-handed pitching, right? Versus left-handed pitching, which they say he can't hit.
Right.
Jason Dominguez has a 293 batting average since May 1st.
Exactly.
He has a 348 on base percentage. He has a 415 slugging percentage against a left-handed pitching. Do you know what his stats are against right-handed pitching?
What?
Well, I'm asking you, do you think he has a higher batting average against right-handed pitching or left-handed pitching since May 1st?
That's interesting because probably a smaller sample size versus lefties. So, the potential to be a little bit skewed there, I guess, higher.
Versus lefties, he's hitting 293. Versus righties, he's hitting 291. He actually is 2 points higher hitting against left-handed pitching. The same left-handed pitching people said he couldn't hit. From the right-hand side of the plate, he has a 135 WRC plus. From the left-hand side of the plate, he has a 114 WRC plus. The Yankees, they got a youngster who developed.
So good.
The same Yankees that people say cannot develop young talent. We'll get into Cam Schittler in 2.3 seconds. I just wanted to take a second to give credit to the Martian, give him his flowers, give him his kudos, because everybody was poo-pooing on Jason Dominguez except for Grace Monroe. Everybody was out here calling out Jason Dominguez except for Grace Monroe. Grace Monroe has been consistent from day one when it comes to who?
Jason Dominguez.
Bingo, bango. Let's shout out the chat before we continue the conversation. My brother El Dululu, Yankee fan, is in the building. Dululu, how you doing? Shout out to you. Li Yankee King said, this is another one. This is another banger from Li. I said it going into the season. Jason Dominguez should be the leadoff hitter. And this is a perfect example of a broken clock could be right at least twice a day. Shout out to my guy Li Yankee King. I love you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Always appreciate you in the chat, and always appreciate your banter on Twitter. Make sure you guys give my guy Li Yankee King a follow over there on the X Spaces. Delulu says we got one organically, a Dominican. Okay, absolutely.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Now, Grace, let's talk about Mr. Schlittler, right? How do you pronounce his name? Schlittler?
Schlittler, yeah.
I just want to say, before we talk, I got to say, shout out to you. As somebody whose last name is Beauchamp, who has a messed up last name, I was bullied and picked on because of my last name. I could just imagine what you went through, but we got to talk about it. Mr. Cam Schittler made his major league debut yesterday. Schlittler made his major league debut yesterday. He was very impressive. 5 1/3 inning pitch, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, 2 walks on 75 pitches. 52 of those pitches were strikes. Welcome to the big leagues.
Woo! I mean, it was a thing of beauty. I tweeted out, I think I'm going to cry to see a pinstriper throwing 100-mile-an-hour strike located. Like, I missed that. I missed that. I mean, it was his first start. Okay, so everybody chill out. We're not giving him a Cy Young. Okay, we're just celebrating the fact that this kid got a call 4 days ago and said, hey, you're coming up and you're going to pitch in 4 days at the big leagues when he just got promoted to AAA. Okay, this kid has been on a rocket ship trajectory and could have easily slit his pants last night. Instead, he pulled up the big boy pinstripe pants and went out there and gave an incredible first performance in the Bronx. It's not easy. The team has been reeling. The pitching staff is down. Did you see the picture, Hector, of the entire rotation all leaning on the little barrier watching Schlittler in his debut? It was a beautiful thing to see. He's young and he's got all the potential in the world, and he had a solid start last night. It was a win all around. Picked up his first win too, by the way. So good for him.
I just got to say, shout out to my guy Chris K in the chat who says, you can't spell Schlittler without it was lit. Absolutely, Chris. Shout out to you. And shout out to our good friend, Miss That's Baseball Erica in the chat who says, it's only one start, but it was really good and an important game, in my opinion. Seeing someone throw heat on this pitching staff is a breath of fresh air. Absolutely. Because Grace and Erica, I was in the press box watching it and saw he got that first strikeout. I was like, ooh, nice. Well, I looked up at the scoreboard, 100 miles per hour. I was like, I looked over to my editor. I was like, when's the last time a Yankees starting pitcher this year threw 100 miles per hour? 0. I don't think anybody has reached 100 miles per hour.
I have that stat, Heck. The first inning, Cam Schlittler threw the 6 fastest pitches by a Yankee in 2025. In the first inning.
Is that separate from starter and reliever, or is that's just pitcher across the board?
Pitcher across the board.
Okay. Listen.
So the highest I think we got all year was 98 up to then. So he threw 6 pitches that were faster than that. I mean, right? 6. Yeah, 6.
Yeah. Credit to Cam. Credit to his family as well. Folks, we got over Over 85 people watching us collectively. We got close to 40 on YouTube. We're sitting at 28 likes. If you guys can, please hit that like button. And when it comes to subscribers, hit the subscribe button. We are almost at 6K. We are at 5,445 with a couple of extra subscribers this morning. Thank you guys for finding us. Please share this with your friends. Share this on Facebook. Share this on whatever social media platform you have. We may do an open panel later on. I don't know, maybe like 15, 30 minutes. We may put the link out there for the open panel. But Grace, one thing I can say is that it was a breath of fresh air, because with everything going wrong for the New York Yankees, having a rookie make his major league debut against a team like the Seattle Mariners with Kyle Raleigh, who is going up against Aaron Judge for that MVP race in the American League, this could have easily went sour. This could have easily went south. Cam Schlittler could have been out in the first inning after giving up 6, 8, 9 runs off of 3 or 4 home runs. That could have happened, but it didn't. And you know what happens in 162 games? Sometimes your boat, everything is smooth sailing, and sometimes you hit rough waters. Hopefully this past month of June and the beginning of July was just rough waters for the New York Yankees. We are on a 3-game winning streak. We won 2 games against a top team in the AL West. Hopefully, let's get that sweep today. Let's just not embarrass ourselves in the last 3 games before we go into the All-Star break. We got the Cubs coming up. Let's not embarrass ourselves. The last thing I want to see, Grace, it's what happened to Alex Verdugo last year against the Baltimore Orioles when he gave up the game because he fell on his face.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's overstating to say that a start like that from a young kid who got called up, first start in the majors, you know, the whole team is given the signal for the ball from his first strikeout. It reminds the team where they came from. It reminds the team what the ultimate goal is, and to be grateful and to be in the moment, and that they're playing for the Yankees. When the kids come up and they are just wide-eyed, like, I can't believe I'm here. My mom and dad are here to watch me play. It renews that feeling across the board throughout the team. And we saw that last night. And I don't think it's overstating to say that this type of contribution can light a spark for the Yankees going forward, getting out of that slump, putting June behind them and the beginning of July, to be honest, behind them, and looking forward and having hope renewed again by a young pitcher, by a young leadoff guy, by Jazz Chisholm Jr., who, by the way, Hector, I have this stat. Have you heard this?
Go ahead.
Since Jazz returned from his injury, from his rehab starts, would you believe me if I told you that Jazz is second in the AL on an OPS? Behind Aaron Judge, obviously.
I believe it. He has a .315 batting average coming back from IL.
Right. He's second in the AL as in terms of OPS, ahead of Cal Raleigh, by the way, ahead of Yandy Diaz and Cal Raleigh, who's 4th. So you got Judge, Jazz Chisholm Jr., then down a little bit, Yandy Diaz, and then right below him, Cal Raleigh. I mean, Jazz has a 1028 OPS right now, since he came back from his injury. It's amazing.
I just got a text message that makes me excited.
What? Oh my God, breaking news. Oh my God, what is it?
I had this text message earlier today while I was on TikTok Live, and they just text me back right now. I can't say who it is. So I got a text message from somebody that I've been working with at the stadium. The Yankees are making Eugenio Suarez their #1 target at the trade deadline, with 2 extra names attached to it that they're going to try to go after.
Okay.
One of them, well, they're both relievers. One of them is David Bednar with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Okay.
And the other one, Grace, reliever, AL Central.
Who?
Emmanuel Clase.
Really?
The Yankees are targeting Suarez, Bednar, and Clase.
If Cashman could pull that off, that would be, I mean, that would be. If you're
incredible. If you're able to trade for Eugenio Suarez, and I seen Jeff Passan put out there an article this morning as well, talking about Eugenio Suarez and maybe Zach Gallen from the Arizona Diamondbacks. If Brian Cashman is able to pull off
Right.
Eugenio Suarez and Emmanuel Clase as his move at the trade deadlines, Cashman, I'm quiet, baby. I'm quiet. You ain't getting no complaints from me, baby. And like Mark T. Maker just said, can we still J-Rod in that deal?
I
Woo!
wish. How
If there was ever a time J-Ram could be available, it's right now. They're I think 10 games from being 500. The Guardians. I'll look it up. Go ahead, Grace.
How much does Suarez have left on his deal, or is he a rental?
Is be a rental, so it won't be that much on the prospects. I thought he had another year left on his deal. No. This year was his team option. I thought next year was a team option. No. He's a rental for just the next 3 months. He ain't gonna cost you that much.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay. Well, I had heard some rumblings that Eugenio Suarez was the number one choice for third base, which would be awesome. If they don't have to trade any big prospects or anything, this is very interesting. I mean, I think he'll be a target by a lot of teams.
Yeah, there's Detroit is it according to Jeff Passan. I don't know about the person who texted me didn't tell me any other teams that are interested. Jeff Passan put it in his article that the Tigers are interested in Eugenio Suarez. So the Yankees will be bidding against the Tigers for Suarez. When you look at Class A and we look at Bednar, the Cleveland Guardians, they need outfielders. So that sets it up perfectly, Grace. That sets it up perfectly, Grace, for the Yankees to trade Spencer Jones for Emmanuel Clase.
Y'all, I mean, look, if you can trade a prospect, okay, and get back Emmanuel Clase,
I'm happy. I'm good.
Huge win.
I'm so. When was the last time the Yankees had a bullpen that has Devin Williams, who has been lights out money outside of the first month of the season, Luke Weaver, and Emmanuel Clase? You can have Emmanuel Clase be the setup guy for Devin Williams and move Luke Weaver to that 6th, 7th inning role, long reliever type thing, pitch multiple innings, something that I think he could thrive in, because you know what? The New York Yankees, middle of that bullpen is trash. Jonathan Loáisiga is throwing batting practice. Yesterday, watching the game, I'm in the press box. I look over to Julio, my boss, and I'm like, I don't even think the Yankees want to win this game with the way that the bullpen has been pitching. So the Yankees should go out there and go all in at the trade deadline. And if Brian Cashman can pull off a trade for Suarez, Clase, or Bednar, more Clase than Bednar, Brian Cashman, Yankee fans, what are you complaining about?
I mean, obviously, Emmanuel Clase would be a huge get. And the people who hit Emmanuel Clase in the postseason are Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge. So you come on over to the Yankees, I'm sure Clase would be like, copy, you know? Because Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge probably haunt him in his sleep. But I mean, that would be a huge get. And again, you would lengthen your options so much for relief there. And obviously, adding Suarez would lengthen the lineup like crazy. So that would be huge, obviously. And I heard that he was injured at the beginning of this. Not injured, but nursing a possible injury concern with his knee in the early year. And so that's why perhaps he had so many errors at third base. I don't know. Is his defense really, really bad?
It's not as bad as people are making it out to be. I'll tell you this right now. He's a better option at third base defensively than DJ LeMahieu. He's going to give you more power. He's going to give you more gaps, more doubles. If you have to do a late inning defensive replacement with Peraza, that's what you got Peraza on the bench for. My man Spinning Mantis in the chat says fans were still complaining about Boone and Volpe even if they get those guys. No, 100%. But something that is interesting, and Jason Custodio put it up here, Clase is controllable through 2028. So the Yankees could be trading for Emmanuel Clase, not just for this year, but for the future, because both Devin Williams and Luke Weaver, they're free agents.
Good point.
At the end of this season.
Great point. My only concern with Suarez is it's my understanding that he's made it very clear that he does not want to leave Arizona. That he loves Arizona and wants to stay there. So that's my only concern with him. In my opinion, when players aren't excited about coming to New York, it can be a little bit of a risk because the Bronx is such a unique environment and such a pressure cooker that if the player isn't, it's not even like, oh, I don't care, I'll go play for the Yankees, I don't care. If they're not excited about joining the Yankees, like if they're not excited, it's a risk. I mean, Devin Williams, we just saw how difficult it was for him to navigate his feelings about coming to the Bronx at the beginning of the year. And when he finally did and he bonded with the team and he settled in, of course, he's been doing great ever since then. But it is just so risky, especially with pitcher. Oh, wait, he's not a pitcher. Especially with a bat that can be a lot of mental game going into every at-bat. That's my only concern with Suarez.
Yeah.
Hi, Jerry.
Big time Jerry Cadill is in the chat. Jerry, how you doing? Let's take a second. How about this? Let's take a second to do a shout out. Let's do a roll call real quick. Shout out to big time Jerry Cadill. I love you, Jerry. I hope all is well. My man C Money, who is in the chat, who says, hey, that PR logo is fresh. Yes, it is. Thank you, Caleb. My man Caleb gifted me this yesterday. Shout out to my brother Caleb. Somebody that I met at Yankee Stadium last year. Him and I, we've grown, created this brotherhood over this past year. I appreciate you, C Money. He's with Latino Sports as well. If you guys are ever at the stadium, you guys want a good time to hang out, go to the Toyota Terrace. You see C Money, you see my guy Kareem, you see the guys from the Toyota Terrace hanging out and having a good time. It's good vibes in the Yankees Toyota Terrace with my man C Money. Shout out to the chat. Theo Nosebleed section is in the building. Arika Rowe is in the building. We need a bullpen. Not full of Clay Holmes. Absolutely, Ro. I think every Yankee fan will agree with you on that. But going back to it, again, this front office is cooking. Brian Cashman came out and he made himself available to the media yesterday after the news. Brian Cashman came out and said that the Yankees will be looking for upgrades in the infield, in the rotation, and in the bullpen as the trade deadline approaches. I certainly love to import a starter, some relievers, and an infielder as well, if possible. But that's not a long list. I mean, I'm not sure if this will be a deep deadline or not. So I don't know how active we can be, but we would try to be active. I can tell you that. And we would try to import improvements. That's the gig. Brian Cashman, you made one right move, and that was getting rid of DJ LeMahieu. DFA and DJ LeMahieu, getting the dead weight off the roster. Do not let this be your only move, because if you DFA DJ LeMahieu and your only move is getting IKF at the trade deadline, and that's the only move you make, everything nice I said about you 15 minutes ago, it's out the window. Maybe 10 minutes ago, but still, same year, you know.
I don't hate IKF.
I don't either. I love IKF. I'm not saying that. I love IKF.
I don't think that IKF would be the worst fit for this team. I could see where that would be I'm intrigued by the possibility of that move because he has defense and some offense. He's not like a big slugger, Eugenio Suarez offense the guy, but he does have some production, and he's got a Gold Glove at third base. And I remember when he was a Yankee and we were screaming, play him at third base. He's got a Gold Glove there. Why is he playing shortstop? And even he was like, why am I playing shortstop? I mean, that's old history, but anyway, I'm not saying he's my number one choice, but a lot of it depends on who people are willing to move and what the options are. You know, I would rather have IKF going down the stretch and into the postseason than Bibas or Peraza. Like, no offense to Peraza, I love Peraza, but you know, I'd rather have IKF there than Peraza, right? I mean,
yeah,
he's got postseason experience with the Yankees. He hit for the Yankees in the postseason. He can steal bags. You know, he's got speed. He's a smart base runner, and He's got a Gold Glove at third base. Like, I don't know.
I'm laughing because Jason Custodio in the chat. I'm curious to why Ben Rice wasn't in the kidney 2 days. I was like, what happened to his kidneys? No, it's the lineup for 2 days versus righty pitches. Shout out to my guy Justin Custodio. And that's because Paul Goldschmidt has started to turn it around. Paul Goldschmidt has been awesome. He had a 3-hit game the other day against the Seattle Mariners. His defense at first base. The issue why Ben Rice is not getting more playing time is because of his defense. It's because of his defense at first base. And that right there signals to me that if anybody from the Yankees major league roster would be traded away, probably would be Ben Rice. He has value. He's a young player. He could move around first base, catcher, DH. If you're a team that's trying to trade veterans to get young, Ben Rice has already showed you at the major league level. He can hit home runs. He can hang at the major league level. You would want Ben Rice in any trade. That's for Juanio Suarez. That's for Emmanuel Clase. That's for David Bednar. All these hypothetical trades, any GM would want to bring back Ben Rice because he's a young player who has controllable years, and he has shown you he could hit at the major league level.
Yeah, he's got a lot of value. He's got a 10 trade value right now, a 10. Let me tell you right now, Trent Grisham has a 9.65, and he's got a Gold Glove. So that's how highly valued Ben Rice is right now in the trade market.
My man,
seriously.
Ace said you're gonna trigger LI. Yeah, I know.
Why?
Because I brought up this dude's defense.
Oh, I mean, it's so interesting because it's really signaling a possible change in philosophy because Yankees have always historically valued the bat over the glove. And now they're making these moves. They're showing you that they're starting to value the glove more. I mean, like I said, DFAing DJ was an exact example of that. He's hitting, he's producing right now, and they DFA'd him because of his glove. I mean, and they called up people, they replaced him with people who aren't hitting. And I mean, I'm not saying it's the wrong move. I'm just saying it's surprising that they actually did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, let me ask you a question, Hector.
Go ahead.
Let me throw this to you.
Go ahead.
Because you brought up Paul Goldschmidt. He's, I love Paul Goldschmidt. I just absolutely love what he's brought to the team this year. It's been amazing. But there's another part of that Juan Soto pivot. Let me ask you, how are you feeling about Mr. Cody Bellinger on his 14-game hitting streak? Second time this season that he's gone on a 14-game hitting streak, and what he's been doing for the New York Yankees and the implications of his possible opt-out free agency looming.
With Cody Bellinger performing the way that he has been performing, and during his 14-game hitting streak, he has a 196 WRC plus, a 400 batting average, 10 RBIs, 400. 400 batting average in the 14 games, 10 RBIs and 3 home runs in that time span. When it comes to Cody Bellinger performing the way he's performing, the way he is, knock on wood, he can stay healthy. It's palatable for you to trade Spencer Jones with the way Cody Bellinger has been playing.
So would you try? So then, because his opt-out exists, do you think he's going to opt out, or do you think the Yankees should extend him, or what do you think?
One, we already know the Yankees don't do that extension game. They don't do that. Everybody,
They're done with that now?
Every year, everybody's like, we should extend Volpe, Dominguez. We should extend it. The Yankees don't do that. They didn't extend Aaron Judge. They didn't extend Derek Jeter on his last contract. They're not going to extend anyone, right? So as much as I would love it, it's not going to happen. But in the offseason, the Yankees should do everything they can to re-sign Cody Bellinger. I want to ask you,
I agree.
With the way that you see Cody Bellinger and Jazz as well, they should extend Jazz. I would love for them to extend Jazz. We know that's not going to happen. When it comes to Cody Bellinger, who would you rather have next year on your team, Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker?
I was about to ask you the same damn thing.
That's why we besties.
And that's it. I've thought about this, and for many reasons, I think I want Cody Bellinger. And I know that's crazy because in the offseason, I was like, trade for Kyle Tucker. Let's get Kyle Tucker. Like, I was all about Kyle Tucker. And I get it. He's a fantastic player, fantastic outfielder, fantastic bat. But I love Cody Bellinger because of his flexibility. I love Cody Bellinger because he wants to be a Yankee, which y'all, that matters.
Yeah.
That matters big time, okay? He wants to be a Yankee. He wants to be here. His vibes with Aaron Judge are immaculate. And Judge is so important. Obviously, Judge is so important. That's not breaking news. But the vibes with Judge, the flexibility.
Breaking news. Aaron Judge is important.
Oh my God. I quit. Everybody, thank you so much for all the memories. I quit this show. The flexibility to move to first base going for, like, you know, in the future, still to be such a contributor, to be able to take the ball the other way on a little two strike approach, to be able to have productive at bats, to be able to have the power also, to be able to contribute so much on defense. I love Cody Bellinger. I'm a big Cody Bellinger fan now, and I don't want him to leave. Like, Kyle Tucker is great. He's gonna cost a bucket of money. Yeah. I just feel like Cody Bellinger, his salary, he earns it because he's contributes in so many ways. So I think I'm on the Cody squad. What about you?
I think I'm on the Cody squad as well, like Erica and majority of people that are in the chat. Guys, we got over 100 people watching us collectively across all streams. We got over 40 on YouTube. If you guys can, please hit that like button on YouTube. Let's try to get to as close to 50 likes as possible on the stream. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, bringing in more Yankee fans to help grow the conversation and help grow the channel. When it comes to subscribers, hit that subscribe button. We are at 5,443 on our way to 6,000. So if you guys can, hit that sub button. Now, when it comes to Cody Bellinger or Kyle Tucker, I'm on the Cody train like you. I think, Grace, you and I are both on a Cody train, and it's one for what he has done this season with the Yankees so far. Us fans falling in love with him, the hustle, the grit, the speed, like Erica pointed out in the chat. But knowing that Kyle Tucker is 28, I think he's a year or two younger than Cody Bellinger. On top of it, in the lifespan of his contract, Kyle Tucker's contract may be $150 million more than the contract that Cody Bellinger is going to get. Kyle Tucker next year, he's going to be making $45 million. Right, so if Cody Bellinger opts out, and the Yankees give him a bigger, more years at $25 million apiece, I'm okay with the Yankees not signing Kyle Tucker, and we get back Cody Bellinger, knowing that it's saving Brian Cashman an extra $20 million to play with in free agency.
I agree, completely agree. You nailed it. Great job. That's exactly it. It gives you more money to go get somebody else or retain Luke Weaver or whatever they decide to do at the end of the year. As far as that goes, you're going to need some money. We have some money coming off the books, but you're going to need a little bit more money. And if you can get a player that's a 9.5 instead of a 10 for a lot less money, and you know he's already a fit, that's a no-brainer move to me. I like Cody Bellinger.
Alex Bregman is making $42 million this season.
Robbery.
Saying Kyle Tucker could be making $45 million next year is not that far off. Personally, I believe.
Yeah. No, that's a non-exaggerative estimation. Oh, by the way, speaking of money, I should have sent you this clip. Can you pull up the clip of Juan? Oh my God, this guy cannot stop putting his foot in his mouth.
I'll let you go first.
Can't believe it, Hector.
I chime in.
I just want to say, great job, Juan. Great job to show everybody who you really are. Because the Yankees already knew. The Yankees fans already knew that you went to the Mets because they offered you more money. And they had to create this narrative because they're the Mets and they're so used to being the little brother. They just can't handle the fact that somebody chose to go there because of money. Whereas the Yankees fans, We've been getting people for money, and we know it, and we own it, and we don't care. And if you cry about, oh, the Yankees buy their championships, you're like, yeah, we do. You wish you could. You wish you could. But now that y'all actually are doing that, you can't admit it. I don't know why. But let me be clear. Juan Soto went to play for the Mets because they offered him a boatload of money, the most money ever offered to a player ever of all time in Major League Baseball.
100 million signing bonus. 100 million.
And he comes out and says, when they ask him, how do you feel about being left off the All-Star team? Not, man, I wish I could have had the chance to represent the Mets in the All-Star game, or I'm so happy for my teammate Francisco Lindor, who's going to be representing the Mets in the All-Star game. Nothing about nobody, not his team, not his city, nothing except money. He said, oh, I left money on the table. I left money on the table.
And I like to say this. I like to say this jokingly. As somebody who is as broke as I am, I cannot poo-poo a player who said, yeah, I want to make $100,000, because my broke ass, I would do everything I can to get $100,000 bag. I see a lot of people like using this as an opportunity to be like, oh, Soto this and Soto that. I personally don't care. I think it's just nothing burger. It's just a nothing burger. He answered it honestly. And it's the thing that I hate when athletes answer the question honestly. Some people in the fan base and some people in the media, they want to crucify them. When they don't answer a question honestly, everybody, oh, this person's full of it, this side of third. So when you get an authentic answer like you got from Juan Soto, people still don't know. People still can't be happy.
No, I don't care that he wants money. It's just that, admit it, Mets fans. He wants money. That's why he went to the Mets. Just admit it. It's not a bad thing. That's why you play professional sports, for money. Okay? We're not out here doing charity work. I mean, these are all professionals trying to make money. Okay? At the end of the day, we know that. There's nothing wrong with taking the biggest contract for Juan Soto. And we've been very clear about that, Hector. There's nothing wrong with him choosing to go to the Mets for the money, but it was for the money. Let us be clear. It was for the money. There's nothing wrong with that.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. If you went there for the money, go ahead, do your thing. Now, hopefully, the Yankee fans, let's stop talking about Juan Soto. The last thing that I want to bring up right before we switch gears, talk about Jazz Chisholm. We got to talk about the Yankees all-star second baseman, Mr. Jazz Chisholm. 251 batting average on the season, 17 home runs, 43 RBIs. Jazz is crushing everything. Shout out to Ryan Garcia, friend of the channel, friend of the show, who said when it comes to his barrel rate, he's in the 98th percentile. He is in the 96th percentile for slugging, and he's in the 92nd percentile for WOBA.
Wow.
With a 139 WRC plus and 28 home runs and 107 games with the New York Yankees, Chisholm has been one of the best positioned players in all of Major League Baseball. Put some respect on my guy's name.
I absolutely love Jazz Chisholm. I want him to be a Yankee for the rest of his career. I've seen all I need to see. I absolutely love his personality. I love his energy. I love his swag. I love the 70% rule that he's doing. I mean, obviously love his production as well. He's a great player. He's a great athlete. He's a great man. I just love Jazz Chisholm Jr. I can't say enough about him. I just absolutely adore him. But I thought that the comment that he made they asked him about the slump. And he said, and I'm paraphrasing, but more or less, he said, I play for the Marlins. We're going to be fine. And I was like, man, he keeps it so real. It's so refreshing. He is who he is. As an Aquarius sister, I really, really feel like I get him. And I just absolutely love Jazz.
Same. And again, since being traded over last year, we're almost on the anniversary of of the trade. 28 home runs, a 139 WRC plus, a 516 slugging percentage, 28 stolen bases in that time span. Put some respect on Jazz Chisholm's name. He is an elite. He is a top player. And Grace, you remember when he was voted as the most overrated player in baseball?
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you want to know his stats? I'm gonna show you guys his stats ever since being traded. Let me pull it up right now on X because I have it on X. Let me pull it up for you. Since being voted as the most overrated player in Major League Baseball, Jazz Chisholm has played 144 games, 607 plate appearances. He has a 257 batting average, 336 on base percentage, 477 slug, 32 home runs, 38 on stolen bases, and 5.3 WF WAR. How is that overrated?
Yeah. That's practically a season. 100 how many was it? 150 games basically. That's like a season. Okay? So he's basically played a season since that vote and he's gone 30-30. Okay? So shut up everybody. I did hear that Jazz Chisholm said that he was interested in playing in the home run, competing in the home run derby.
I saw that too.
And that he wished that he was playing in the home run derby or that they would ask him. I'm glad that they didn't ask him this year because I don't want it to mess up his swing for this season. But I would love to see Jazz Chisholm compete in the future. And cheer for him.
He has a swag. He has a personality.
Oh man, he's such an entertainer.
Yeah, he definitely is. He definitely is. My man Mark T. Maker says Jazz is an extroverted version of Ricky Henderson. I love Jazz 100%. I think that is the perfect comp when it comes to Mr. Jazz Chisholm. But again, 1:02 p.m., July 10th, Yankees on a 3-game winning streak. Toronto, they lost yesterday.
Thank God.
Their 10-game win streak is over. I don't think anybody thought Toronto would win every game for the rest of the season. They got hot, and they took advantage of the Yankees going 7-10 over 10 games. They won 10 games in a row when the Yankees went 2-8 in 10 games. They took advantage of that. Mm-hmm. You're supposed to take advantage of that. Mm-hmm. That's what you're supposed to do. Now, with the Blue Jays losing, you on a steamer right now. Let's see if the Yankees can take advantage. Let's see if the Yankees, we have 4 games left before the All-Star break. Let's see if we can get this sweep, and let's see what happens this weekend versus the Chicago Cubs. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If the Yankees go out there, win today, sweep the Seattle Mariners, but you get embarrassed over the weekend against the Chicago Cubs, everything you did over these 3 games versus the Seattle Mariners, thrown into the garbage. Do not waste these 3 games.
I agree with you, Hector. It's so important how we enter the All-Star break, the vibes-wise, right? I'm going to echo what I said on Tuesday. They cannot get swept. That is the marching orders, bro. I don't care if you lose 2 out of 3. You cannot get swept, period. It cannot happen. It cannot happen. You got to stay competitive, okay? If you lose, it needs to be like barely, right? You need to just be in the game, keep trying, keep the vibes up, keep the energy up going into the All-Star break. It's imperative.
100%. You got to be able to ride high. You can't. What happened last year, right before the All-Star break, you can't have that happen again. You can't have Jason Dominguez or Cody Bellinger or Aaron Judge dropping a ball in the outfield that gives the Chicago Cubs the game and the lead. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to play sound baseball. Like I said, all this good faith that you garnered from Yankee fans over these past 3 games, winning these 3 games in a row, all that good faith can go out the window tomorrow if you drop the ball against the Chicago Cubs. And that's something that I don't want to see. I think that's something that Grace doesn't want to see. And I think that's something that everybody in the chat does not want to see.
What is the pitching going to be for the Cubs series?
Grace Monroe, that is a perfect segue. Let me look it up right now for game 1 of the New York. Well, you're going to have Rodon. You're going to have Max Fried out there. Okay. And I think game 3 will be Sunday will be Marcus Stroman.
Okay. Okay. I thought, wait, isn't Stroman pitching tonight?
Wait, Stroman's pitching tonight?
Am I crazy?
Hold on. Let me double check.
All right. You check that. While Hector's checking that,
Yes, Stroman is pitching tonight. Yes, Stroman is pitching tonight. So for the Cubs series, you have Carlos Rodon in game 1, like I said. Game 2 is most likely going to be Max Fried. And Sunday's game 3, will be Will Warren is pitching game 3 versus Shota Imanaga.
Okay. Because Aaron Boone did say that Cam was going to make another start last night. So then he was insinuating that that'd be after the All-Star break,
Yeah.
I suppose?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm assuming it's after the All-Star break.
Okay. That's exciting for Cam. You know, great endorsement there by the manager of the New York Yankees to say, yeah, we're going to have you come out and pitch again. You did well enough to earn another start. I mean, I know we're in a spot, but regardless, it's a big deal. It's great for him. I know they're still going to be looking to shore up the pitching from top to bottom over the next few weeks. But Cam Schlittler has a bright future.
Yes, he does.
And we're all pulling for the kid. We want a miracle, right? It's unfair to put those expectations on this kid. Let me make it very, very clear. It is unfair to expect Cam Schlittler to come up and carry us to the World Series. Period. He is a rookie, brand new. All you can ask from him is that, just like I said about Will Warren, that you see improvement, that you see growth, that he can maintain a calm demeanor in different situations, and that he's learning and that he's showing the ability to adapt. That's all you can ask from him. However, if that happened, it would be great. It would be a memory forever.
The one thing that the New York
Erica,
Yankees...
get out of here with that. Erica, I can't. Erica, somebody, y'all kick her out of the chat. No, don't really kick her out of the chat. But Erica, I cannot with you.
Shout out to Erica. What I was going to say is that something that the Yankees haven't had, and I want to say this since I've been watching the Yankees. If somebody probably seen it before, just let me know. Since Jabba Chamberlain and Phil Hughes, you can throw Phil Hughes in there, and Luis Severino, the Yankees, they haven't had a pitcher, a starting pitcher, come up and throw gas the way Cam Schlittler has.
It was like something that I didn't know that I needed. Like, you know what I mean? Like it healed a part of my soul that I didn't know needed healing to see that.
Yeah, because like Lorenzo says, just eat innings, Schlittler, please. Yeah, just eat these innings. But no, like I gotta agree with Erica, because somebody did mention that in the press box, like, all right, this kid throwing 100 miles per hour. What's the over and under before he needs Tommy John surgery? And that's just something that in 2025 in Major League Baseball, when you have a starting pitcher that throws 100 miles per hour, one of the first questions that probably comes into your head is, have you had Tommy John surgery yet? No. If not, then let's try to predict when you're going to have it. That's just a part of the game when it comes to the conversation. But I loved his performance. I loved his poise, his demeanor on the mound. And shout out to the Yes broadcast crew. They did a good job yesterday highlighting his family. Shout out to Cam's family, people in the stands, friends, people that came from wherever he's from. I think it was a good signing. Yes, yesterday was a really good win for the New York Yankees, more especially after the news with DJ LeMahieu. Yeah. The Yankees went out there, scored those runs. They needed to do that for the team's morale, because if the team would have went out yesterday, scored the runs that they scored, but the bullpen gave the game away like it was looking like it was going to go, we would have been having a different conversation. It would have been doom and gloom after they DFA'd DJ LeMahieu.
Jonathan Loaizaga was about to kill us yesterday. What a horrible showing yesterday was. I mean, Twitter was apoplectic yesterday. When
apoplectic.
J-Lo
look at that big ass Scrabble word. Look at that. Mark it down. Save it in your mind.
Shut up. When Loaizaga was on the mound, it was horrible. And you look at his face, and he just has that blank stare, and you're just like, shut up, John. You're just mad. Oh man, I mean, the honeymoon is definitely over with Jonathan Loaizaga. It sucks. I know I think he signed just a 1-year deal for this year, and said all this bullshit about, I owe the fans and I gotta come back for the fans and prove it. And yeah. You know what? We're good. Thanks. We've seen what you're giving us, and we're good. I mean, it sucks because he was such a big part of our projections for this season, and it's just not panning out, and it really, really blows. But Weaver looked better last night than he's been looking. That was a major, major positive. Even if it's just for his confidence, you know, he was looking better. He was looking more confident. And then obviously Williams shut it down. So we got the win. At the end of the day, that's what matters. But like you said, Hector, it was kind of a juxtaposition there with the ending of an era with DJ and the beginning of a new kid's MLB career with Cam Schlittler. So
when it comes to Jonathan Loaisiga, from 2022 to 2024, he faced 292 batters. How many home runs do you think he gave up in that time span?
Oh, I heard this last night. 6, 5.
This year, he has faced 94 batters, and he has given up 6 home runs. Jonathan Loaisiga, the issue that I see with Jonathan Loaisiga is that he cannot throw his breaking pitch for a strike. He can't get it over for a strike. So if I am the opposing hitter, if I am the opposing batter, what am I going to do? I am going to spit on every breaking pitch he throws, and I'm gonna sit back and wait for that fastball. And when his sinker, which was one of the deadliest weapon in baseball because it had so much movement, when his sinker is just straight and flat, you could throw 100 miles per hour, you could throw 102 miles per hour. But if it's straight and it's flat, people are going to tee off on you. You're going to be batting practice. And you see it in the 94 batters he has faced this year. He has given up 6 home runs. He's given up more home runs this year, the 6 home runs, than he did from 2022 to 2024.
Yep, you're exactly right. When the swing and miss goes down, you're like, why is that? Oh, because people have you figured out and they're just sitting fastball.
Shout out to
Andres. They're
Andres.
sitting the ball that they can hit or drive because you're not getting any swing and miss. That means people know what's coming and you're not throwing your breaking ball for strikes, so they don't have to swing. You know what I mean? Like, sucks.
Shout out to Andres on Twitter. Thank you for reposting the stream. Guys, if you're watching us on X, if you're watching us wherever you're watching us, hit that repost button so we can get more people in the conversation. Shout out to Andres. Also, if you're watching on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, click the link in the bio. Jump on over to YouTube. We're having a great conversation. Thank you, Jacob Petruzzi, for dropping the TikTok. Make sure you guys follow the TikTok because when I'm out there in Atlanta for the MLB All-Star Game, I will be going live on TikTok from the field every day that I'm out there. So I implore you guys, hit that follow button because I'm going to give you better access than anybody that's out there. I'm going to be giving you access better than John Boy. I don't want to, you know what I mean? I'm just saying. But sub to the TikTok. My man Mark T. Maker, he put it in the chat. You can throw 120 miles per hour, but if it's over the plate, they can still crush it. Absolutely, Mark T. Maker. W in the chat for my man Mark.
Yep. Also, want to say that last night a record was broken. Another record was broken by Aaron Judge. And what record was that? You may ask. Oh, the most intentional walks in a season. It was finally claimed by Aaron Judge with the number 24 intentional walk.
Who did he pass? Wait, Grace. Who did he pass?
Oh, this guy, you probably never heard of him. He was like an outfielder way back in the day. Mickey Mantle.
Oh, Mantle of Mickey. Copy. I know that guy, Mantle of Mickey.
And I got this here. In 2025, Aaron Judge has been intentionally walked 24 times, which is the franchise record. Then Mickey Mantle, 23 times in 1957. Then the next 2 guys on the list are both Aaron Judge. 20 times in 2024 and 19 times in 2022. He has already walked as many more times in 2025 than he was all of last year. So he is mounting, and we had this stat up on Tuesday. He is mounting an even better season than he had last year when he won unanimous American League Most Valuable Player. He is going to lap some of his statistics from last year. He's going to double up on them. It's crazy what Aaron Judge is doing. Breaking news.
Every year, at breaking news, because every year, Aaron Judge has been getting better and better and better and better. When you think that, oh, he can't do better than 62, he does better than 62. When you think, oh, he can't do better than last year with Juan Soto, he's doing better this year without Juan Soto.
Say it again.
Aaron Judge, the best hitter in all of Major League Baseball. My only gripe is my gripe is the fact that he is not the face of baseball. That's my only issue.
It's because he's a Yankee, and there's so many Yankee haters. You know it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that's why. People out there talking about Cal Raleigh being the MVP. Look, let me be very, very, very clear, okay? I've been watching I don't watch Mariners games. Watching Cal Raleigh over the last 2 days, I'm impressed with him. He has been a great defensive catcher. They said that he was a platinum glove defensive catcher.
He's the best defensive catcher and best offensive catcher in baseball.
Yes, well, let me tell you something. Jose Trevino was a platinum glove defensive catcher too, and Cal Raleigh and Jose Trevino do not look the same. No shade to Jose Trevino, my Texas guy. Like, I am mad at you about what you did with the Reds and calling the umpire's attention to Jazz, and you do owe me one for that. But besides that, I'm not mad at you, Jose. But Cal Raleigh was very impressive. Obviously, what he's doing with the bat is impressive as well. But there is no question that Aaron Judge will be the 2025 American League MVP.
I just got to say something. I got to say just one thing. The views and thoughts that were expressed on the Yankees Morning Brew are those of Grace Monroe and Grace Monroe only.
I speak for everyone when I say, I'm just kidding.
No, but when it comes to Kyle Raleigh, right? Again, no shade to Kyle Raleigh, having an amazing season. Yeah. Shout out to my man, Delulu Yankee fan, who says this Kyle Raleigh MVP narrative is being, Posada is being created by the media. 100%. There's no MVP race. Aaron Judge is hitting 100 points higher than Kyle Raleigh. And yes, you can have the argument, right? Because MVP stands for most valuable player. If you take Kyle Raleigh from the Seattle Mariners, they're not making the postseason. The same way that you take Aaron Judge away from the New York Yankees. The Yankees are fourth place, maybe a last place team.
He's already at like 8 WAR or something. Crazy. On July 10th, Aaron Judge. You know?
I want to shout out my man, Mr. Keith Saunders in the building. Keith, my guy, how you been? He said Kyle is probably having the best year for a catcher that I ever seen, which I got to double down and agree with my man Keith Saunders. The last time I seen a catcher have this great of a season was Joe Mauer with the Minnesota Twins. Outside of that, never seen it. But the difference between Kyle Raleigh and Joe Mauer is that Joe Mauer, yes, he could call a phenomenal game. Yes, he could catch and with the best of them. He ain't throwing nobody out trying to steal second. What did Kyle Raleigh do? Gunned down. Gunned.
Absolutely.
Jazz and Jason.
I mean,
both of them. Gunned them both down.
Those were that was a thing of beauty. There's not enough of that in baseball anymore. I swear.
It was like watching Call of Duty videos and the person is like the sniper. That's what Kyle Raleigh did. He's the sniper.
My husband, right, Texas Rangers fan. I'm working on him. He's getting closer to being a Yankees fan. But Pudge Rodriguez was his favorite player. Okay, growing up, Pudge Rodriguez,
great player.
Oh, he is a absolute Texas icon, legend. Like all the flowers. Like there's a big statue of Pudge Rodriguez outside the Texas Rangers field, and I mean he's worshipped here. Okay. But that being said, last night when Cal Raleigh threw that ball to second base in the perfect spot, I mean, multiple times he did it. Not just once. Multiple times he did it. Trey goes, "Hey, that looks like Pudge Rodriguez." And I was like, easy. I was like, hold on, calm down. Because I'm like defensive of Judge. Like, don't give Cal Raleigh too much credit because Aaron Judge is the American League MVP. But in all seriousness, Cal Raleigh, incredible arm, incredible year, great. I mean, an incredible player. Okay, and he's young. He's only 28. He's just entering his prime. Like, it's very exciting to see where he's gonna go. Aaron Judge is the American League MVP in 2025. However, wow, Cal Raleigh, great player. I mean, I'm very impressed.
No, 100%. And I just want to point something out, right? Because again, shout out to my guy Caleb Vasquez, who gifted me this yesterday at the stadium. I appreciate you, Caleb. I will be rocking this. I don't care if it's a long sleeve. I feel like a baseball player. It's breathable. It's breathable.
You look like a baseball player.
It's breathable material. Absolutely. Thank you, Grace. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go pull a hamstring in a second going to the kitchen. I want to highlight something, right? Because I know we was talking about Aaron Judge and Kyle Raleigh. Folks, we got over 115 people watching us collectively. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Come on over to YouTube. Over the weekend, like I said, I will be in Atlanta for the All-Star game. The MLB draft will be going on, right? Aaron Judge was drafted in 2013. We are coming upon that anniversary. And there's this video that Lewis918 made and put on TikTok. Make sure you guys check it out. I always like to highlight anybody whose video that I play on the show. I like to highlight them and give them credit. So I wanted to take a trip down memory lane, watch this video, and let's chum back so we could enjoy our captain.
With the 32nd selection of the 2013 first-year player draft, the New York Yankees select Aaron Judge.
Deep to left field, going back Cabrera, looking up, see it, no rookie has ever.
Aaron Judge is the American League winner, the Jackie Robinson Rookie of the Year award. All 30 ballots and him on top.
He's done it! He has done it! 62!
Having said that, it is my great pleasure, thankfully, to welcome Aaron not only back to the Bronx, but to welcome Aaron back to the Bronx as the 16th captain of this great organization.
Your 2024 American League Most Valuable Player is Aaron Judge.
With the 32nd,
Goosebumps from watching that. And like I want to say this real quick. Derek Jeter will forever go down as one of the greatest Yankees that I ever saw in my life. Probably the most winningest Yankee that I ever seen in my life. Aaron Judge is the greatest baseball player that I've ever seen in my life. No shade. I'm not trying to take away anything from Derek Jeter. 5 championships, should have been an MVP in 2006. They gave it to forgot to do in Minnesota, the first baseman in Minnesota, they gave it to him. But when you look at Aaron Judge, the numbers that he is putting up year after year after year, and how humble he is, like Jerry just put it in the chat right there, that thing gave me chills watching it. Like I said, Derek Jeter is the winningest Yankee that I ever seen in my lifetime. 5 championships, 3,000 hits, the 3,000 being a home run. I'm not taking anything away from Derek Jeter, but Aaron Judge is the greatest baseball player that I've ever seen in my lifetime. Justin Morneau. Thank you, Eddie. Justin Morneau.
Yes. And let us never forget that Aaron Judge chose to come back to the Yankees for less money. And let me be clear, there's no shade to going to the team that pays you the most money. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. However, let it never be forgotten that Aaron Judge took less money to come back to the Bronx. That needs to be part of his legacy. He wanted to be here. He chose to be here. And he left money on the table to come back and be here and be the captain. That's how much it meant to him. You
know, yesterday at the Latino sports event, being around all those elder baseball minds, journalists and stuff, elders, we acknowledge our elders. We acknowledge those that were before us when it comes to whatever field you're in, right? So here, when we have these conversations around the New York Yankees, having guys like big time Jerry Cadell, right, who saw Don Mattingly, who saw Mickey Mantle play, right? Mark T. Maker in the chat who said, I saw the Mick when I was 7 years old.
Wow.
But I might have to agree with you, Hector. Having Jerry, having Mark, having Steve as well, who's not here, but Steve Shoemaker, Steve as well. You guys know Steve. Having them in our community with us. I'm blessed to be a Yankee fan. I'm blessed to be able to say that as a content creator, I'm able to have these conversations every Tuesdays and Thursdays with you, Grace, as my co-host, and these amazing people that are in the chat. Thank you guys so much.
Yes. I mean, I'm so grateful too for this community, for all these friends that I've made that are my Yankees friends, and the family that we have, that we all just unite on the love of the Yankees. And even when they suck, we're here, we're together, you know, and we're all just trying to get through life. You know, we all have our own lives and our own problems and our own joys, but we all come together to watch this silly little game. And it's just, I'm so grateful for you, Hector, and everybody in the chat, and for letting me come hang out with y'all. So even though I'm a Texas girl, I really appreciate hanging out with all my New York friends.
You were New Yorker in Texas. You were New Yorker in Texas.
I wish.
Again, shout out to Steve Schumann. Steve, again, another great person who has been watching the channel, who has been a part of the conversations for some time. Steve, I appreciate you. Mark T. Maker, I appreciate you. My man M7, my man Maddie. I met Maddie on TikTok when I do my TikTok lives. Shout out to Maddie. Shout out to my man M7. Erica, the New Yorker. Shout out to Erica as well. That's Baseball Erica. I appreciate all you guys that are in the chat. We're going to wrap things up in about 3 minutes. Like I said, next week, I will be traveling to Atlanta for the MLB All-Star Game. My beautiful and lovely girlfriend, my best friend, she will be coming with me as well. We're going to be staying down there. If anybody knows any restaurants or anything like that in Atlanta you think we should check out, shoot me a DM. Hit me up on TikTok. Hit me up on Instagram. Hit me up on Twitter. Uptown Sports TV across the board on every platform. Like I said, follow the TikTok. I go live from the field when I'm on TikTok. I send it to Grace sometimes so she could join us. She joins us when she wants. Sometimes she does. Sometimes she doesn't. But guys in the chat, please, if you guys are free, join us on TikTok. We have great conversations over there, and we have a bigger community over there that we're building as well. TikTok may be gone next year. I don't know. We got to still see if that's in the air, but we still have good conversations over there. Grace, last words.
Last words. Okay, so last words are don't get swept. Don't get swept. Literally, anything else we can deal with, do not get swept. And I just want to say, like, I'm proud of the guys, the way they've pulled it together the last couple days. We're going to build on it going forward. It's still not enough, but it's a sign of good things to come, and the ball is now rolling the right direction, okay? We're going the right direction. We still got to keep going. But I don't feel like I'm gonna cry when I wake up in the morning and I remember about the standings or what's going on. Let's go into the All-Star break. Let's relax. Let's remember why we love baseball in the first place and be proud. Let's cheer for our guys that are playing for the American League. You know, let's be proud of them. And thank you, DJ LeMahieu.
Yes. Thank you, DJ LeMahieu, for all the great times, for all the great lasting memories, for winning a batting title with the New York Yankees. You first came over in 2019. We ain't know what to expect. You coming from Colorado. DJ LeMahieu, La Máquina, the machine. Thank you for everything you gave us with the New York Yankees. And again, I do not blame you for your hips going out on you, because it's something that I bring up all the time, Grace. There has never been a baseball player in their 30s who had the same type of surgery, hip surgery, that DJ LeMahieu did and was able to bounce back and return close to their prior form. There hasn't been one. The closest one was Alex Rodriguez, right? When he came back from his suspension, but he was off for a whole year and a half. That's why he was able to rest up. He hit 30 home runs before he was forced into retirement.
Yeah. Yep.
I wish you the best, DJ. Hopefully a team out there can pick you up. I do think he will be picked up. Maybe he goes back to Chicago because he broke in with Chicago. Maybe Colorado as well, just have his fair wear toe. He deserves a fair wear toe. So DJ LeMahieu, be always a good one in my book.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm trying to make Grace cry, y'all.
No,
That's what I'm trying to do.
Hey, playing Jason Dominguez at leadoff. Jazz is looking good at second. We're gonna get some bullpen arms. We got to get Cashman's on the phone. Cashman's on the phone right now. Vibes are up. Let's keep it rolling.
And
drink your water.
Keith said this last night, right? I still remember 2019 when he hit that home run.
Yeah.
I still remember that home run. DJ LeMay, you a good one. In my book, look, C Money just put it in the chat. That home run against the Astros at the top of the 10th, that moment, everything. Absolutely, C Money. Appreciate you guys. Like always, drink your water, stay hydrated, because it's hot as hell outside. Don't get dehydrated. Say something positive about yourself. Take care of your mental health as well. I'm Hector.
I'm Grace Monroe.
And this is the Yankees
Morning Brew.
And we'll be back next week, Tuesday. Arriba the Dirty. Adios. Avidetse. Well, how would you say about 9? Bye.
Bye, y'all.
There you go. Bye, y'all.
You fought well yesterday. Your style is unorthodox.
Scorpio.